Hi there, it's Shell with Little Acres Creations, and today I am going to make a card using the newest stamp set, Café Dreamers, now available at littleacrescreations.com. The first thing I'm going to do is make 2 panels using some color bursts that I just got, and these are so fun to make. So I just went ahead and cut my sheet of paper in the center, just a 9.5 by 11 sheet of paper in the center, and I'm going to just use some of the yellow, the red, and the black, sorry about my cat there, color bursts. And I'm just going to kind of sprinkle just a little bit on the papers, and just to kind of get like a sunset kind of look. So you have like the yellow, the red, and the black. So I'm just going to do that now, and you'll see I'll sprinkle the colors, and then I will just kind of mist it with my mister. And I'm going to do both of these panels just in hopes that I find a really nice panel to use for the background of my card. And I set those 2 panels aside to dry because I want them to dry thoroughly. And now I'm just going to focus on the little image to the right, the little boy sitting on the little upside down coffee cup. And I am just going to color him with some grays so it looks like he's in a shadow, like he's out, maybe in the middle of a field, and he's just sitting on the back of a coffee cup looking up at the stars. So I'm just going to color that with some Copics. I'm going to put that to some music for you. And when we come back, our panel should be dry, and we should be able to start putting our card together. And now that my panel is dry, I am just going to choose the one that I like the best. And I'm going to cut that down to 4 by 5 1/4. So I'm going to cut 2 of them down just because I figure I'll come back later and use another, make another card. So I want a little bit darker around the edges. So I'm using my Little Acre Creations ink blender and some Black Soot Distress ink. And I'm just going to kind of darken around the edges, a little bit in the center, just to make it more like a nighttime sky. So I'm going to go ahead and do that. My cats, I tell you. And then I went ahead and used a few water droplets, and in hopes that that would kind of give me a little bit more dimension. It didn't give me a lot, but you know, there's a little bit more texture there. And then I went back to the piece that I cut out, the little boy. I went ahead and fussy cut him out. And now I'm just using a black pen just to go all the way around all of the edges. So it looks like a better image that it was perfectly cut out. And then I went back to my sentiments that are in the stamp set, and I used the one that said, when I'm missing you, it's nice to know that we're looking up the same stars. And I went ahead and embossed that. I used my powder tool first, and then I just rearranged my sentiment on my card before I realized that I had forgotten to hit my record button. And I'm just going to put this panel on a darker shade of gray, and I'm using my ATG gun. The paper's a little bit warped, so I am covering the back of this with my ATG gun so that it's really nice and sticky. And then I'm just going to place that on the card base where I have a gray border piece on there. And then I'm just going to go ahead and trim my card because it didn't quite frame out the way it needed to be. So I just trimmed that out, and I'm just kind of removing a little bit of the stickiness. So now I take my little cup, the little guy on the cup, and I am going to use some art glitter glue just to attach him to the background. So I think this turned out really cute. And then, of course, you can't have a "When I Miss You, we're both looking up at the same stars" without some stars. So I'm going to just add some stars. I'm using a kind of like a chalk pencil, and I'm just kind of sketching it out, and I had to use an eraser just to fix that. But I thought it'd be kind of fun to have like a falling star. So I went ahead and just am using my white pilot pen to make some other stars just up in the sky, and then just to kind of sketch that little tail that comes from the falling star. So I think this card turned out so adorable. Be sure and hit that subscribe button. Head over to littleacrescreations.com if you're interested in this adorable set. And thank you guys so much for watching.